Hi, Kristen and Pixel here to continue the conversation about belonging. Do not jump off of there. That's too high for you. That's too high for you. I'm sorry, I'm usually all about being limitless, but when your dog is 127 years old, we have to be practical at the same time. Okay, no jumping. Back to the conversation about belonging. Let me back up. There's a saying that says, don't listen to my words, watch my feet. In other words, do I walk the walk? Yes. I don't just come on here and preach to you about, do this, it's life-changing and abundance and healing and all the things. I bring that to you because I live it. And today was a test. Today was a test. I have been really working on my worthiness because there's an old story in there, yes, that says you don't belong, or you're not part of, or this isn't a table that you're welcome in. You're too zen, or you're too bubbly, or you're too witchy. Fill in whatever story I have going on. And those three have been part of my things I've had to heal. So I belong to one of the most beautiful yoga communities. And when I first started practicing yoga with humans, which is only been since April, my whole yoga journey up until April was at home. I mean, a one-off class here and there, but my sacred practice was always just me. And when I started practicing with humans and becoming part of this community, it became so important to me that everybody knew I was a yoga teacher. I'd just been certified. And that everybody knew I was part of. Like, I would tell anyone who listened, like, I belong to such and such studio. And it wasn't a brag, even though this is a very exquisite studio. It wasn't like I belong here like a status symbol. It was like I belong here and I resonate with this group of humans. So much of me considered my being part of as an external thing. Like, I will know that I belong when I'm invited to places, or when I am included, or when, like, the cool girls invite me to a sound healing. And all of that happened. And I'm so grateful. But I remember back to the very beginning, this amazing angel on earth. She knows who she is. That I encounter often when I check in for my classes. She is such a bright light. And I swear we have been on this journey together somewhere at another lifetime, because we are just kindred spirits. And I was only about 2 weeks into studying yoga at this studio when I said, I'll say, Jay, I just so want to be part of this community. No, you shush. And she goes, you already are. I already was. Even before I was invited to do the things, even before I was part of the community already, just by showing up. And that's what she was trying to have me know, which I thought was so beautiful. So fast forward to this morning. The same group of ladies get together, go to yoga every Sunday. And I used to be able to do that. And they were so loving and inclusive, always inviting me. And then over the summer, I started to have to work on Sundays at a restaurant for extra income. And I was no longer, and that was kind of like a vulnerable thing for me to admit to them, because my fear, my shadow in that, my work, was an old story that if I'm working at a restaurant on the weekends, that means my practice isn't healthy, or my business isn't healthy, or me as a coach, there's something wrong with if I need extra money. Like, why shouldn't all of my money come from my practice if I'm successful, right? Wrong. I accept that now, and I know that. So it's not a sticking point for me anymore. It's not a shame. Today, I happen to run into all of them, and I do work later on this afternoon. I wasn't working this morning. However, I'm kind of always contributing to my work because my life is an extension of my healing practice. It just is. It's not my work. It is an extension of how I exchange energy in the world. I don't consider it work, my coaching practice. Now, when I work at the restaurant, that is my job, my side job, and that is work. And I'm grateful for it. My coaching practice is my life's work, is my legacy, is my purpose. So while this table of ladies that I did not see, all from yoga, were sitting there, I was over on the side at a sidebar seating area, taking a bunch of photos and content, and I had the thought in my mind, this is a little bit cringy. Who's this girl, filming her coffee steaming? Who does she think she is? Not 1 second after I had that thought, did I hear a woman's voice say, was that Kristen? And immediately, it's like, put my phone down. I'm not being cringy. I'm not filming my coffee. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's Kristen from yoga. And I'm like, I just whacked my hair off. I could have easily had my shades on and been like, oh, hi. No. I stood in my truth. I am Kristen from yoga. I am filming my coffee. I am creating content at a coffee shop with my partner on a Sunday morning before I go to work because I love my business. More so, I love the people that I get to help. And knowing that that's what I was doing and being so steeped in my purpose gave me the authenticity and the power to remind myself I'm not cringy because I create content. I'm not cringy because I love my work fiercely. And I belong because I'm there. I belong because I'm human.